and welcome to Truck Stop Murder and True Crime Podcast, a podcast where I talk about the truck stops I stop at for my 10-hour or 30-minute break and everything about the travel plaza, from food, what to eat, what people think about it, and a murder slash crime that happened nearby it. And today brings us to Lamar, Colorado. But before we start, please rate and review anywhere you're listening to this. So let's try to build this. I've been doing this a few years. I'm enjoying it. I'm not doing very well, but I'm okay with that. Just having fun, enjoying the ride. And if you do like it, please share with your friends and join my social media groups at Truck Stop Murder and True Crime. Just Google it, you will find it. But yeah, today brings us to Lamar, Colorado. Now, this is the episode I was talking about when I was there. I actually walked and did a video on YouTube, a little short video of the bank that these men robbed. And there's really not much about it. There's a couple of YouTube videos here and there, but since I was there, let's talk about it. First, let's talk about the truck stop, Love's Travel Stop, number 23. It's off of Highway 287, 50 like a back road going through Colorado. If you not, we're very off the interstate. It cuts off a lot of times. It's a small truck. It's a small spot. It only has like it's two showers, 20 spots, according to Trucker's Path. The actual address is 605 North Main Street, Lamar, Colorado. Now I was walking around. It's like a homely little small town. They have a little, I don't know if it's a museum. It was closed, but it's an old train station with the old train there. I made some videos, TikTok videos of that at my TikTok channel, Sceneries and Cemeteries, which I do as I'm driving around the country if I see anything interesting. Plus, I do enjoy going to cemeteries once in a while when I can. Older ones, new ones, it doesn't matter. It just makes me at peace when I go to them. But yeah, and this place has a 3.4 star rating out of 176 reviews. So I don't know how the traffic is. A lot of people from New Mexico, if you're traveling up to Denver area, you probably go through here, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of hit 70 and cross into Denver. It's just a short way. So if you're there, there's a lot of restaurants that's nearby, little cafeterias, diners, and whatnot. Well, let's talk about what is there in store. Of course, you have the regular loves foods like the roller hot dogs, which I mention this a lot, but I do love their cheddar and jalapeno. Love them, and they have some of their buns are amazing. But yeah, you have McDonald's, of course, which seems like it's at every loves, and Godfather's Pizza. Now there's a TA across the street that has Pizza Hut there, or KFC, I believe it's there, 530 for, and a Dunkin' Donuts. You could go there. But when a lot of these places say Dunkin' Donuts, they're probably just a coffee and a little donuts. It's not like an actual store. Their coffee's made with Dunkin' Donuts products, and they have a little donut area with Dunkin' Donuts that they supply. Now, if you're in a car, you don't want none of that. You just have to be driving through. You want some Little Caesars. There's one a mile away, and a Taco John's 2 miles away. So let's see what people think about this place. Right off the bat, from 1 year ago. It's a first time stopping here. Been here many times. Have stopped across the street at the other big company. It's a smaller parking lot and store, but staffs are friendly and helpful. Lots of restaurants in the area for you to go eat at. Overall, he recommends it. Go there if you need to. Get your gas, fuel, McDonald's. Next one is 3-star review. This is extremely small loves. Not many spots. It's hard to get out if you're not careful. There's no red lights to get out from. I'm not going to say employees are the best, but they are okay. Seems like some of them need more training. Okay, a lot of 4-star reviews. I guess on March 7th of this year, they didn't have no fuel. This is 26. I guess the way they have this set up on Trucker's Path is weird. They got the most, you know, I guess there's a way to, but by default, it has 1 year, 2 days, then 2 days ago. Last one was 2 days ago. It was a 5-star, which is good. 23 days ago, lovely little shop. And on the 7th, I guess there was no fuel. And the 6th, there was no fuel. Here you go, 3-star review, 28 days ago. Forget these big chain truck stops. Go to the ports or planes, travel plenty of parking and lighted, and the new restaurant menu with Indian food is amazing. Yeah, that is. And I don't remember if I don't know why I didn't want I wanted to stop here. I know there's mainly because the weigh station was there, but I don't know if I hadn't weighed my truck yet or if I was concerned about something. I don't remember, but I know I knew it was going to be I was going to leave early that next morning, and that's when I wanted to take off while it was closed. 4-star review, everything you need except laundry. 2 showers, I believe, but with limited parking. It shouldn't be a problem. Nope. 1-star review from some of these names. I don't know how they come up with that. Just the computer EX3T T Fox with W. Let me start again. Lowercase e, rest of them are uppercase. X3T Fox, word Fox, lowercase W GF. Okay. This guy don't like it there. He says this Love's is a joke. Tiny parking for trucks. Cooler did not work. No cold drinks. The nasty showers. There was mold in one of them I used. No air conditioning. Felt like I was going to pass out from being too hot after showering. Homeless people everywhere. Now I did not see one homeless person that when I was there. So I don't know what this guy's talking about. Was it just because he has a higher standard of what people should look like if they don't look to his level expertise, what they think they're also homeless? Okay, 4-star review. It's a smaller Love's, only 2 showers, super nice people here. I stop here every Monday for 10-hour break. Stupid, dangerous e-logs. 30 years over the road. Never have I ever fell asleep behind the wheel. I love this Love's. But why 777 was its name? Why did you not give it 5 stars if you love it? You took a star away because of e-logs, I'm guessing? I don't know. Go through a lot of short reviews. Let's find here 2. Don't count on the air machine. Was actually drawing pressure out from my tires instead of giving me pressure. Oh God. Guess you're just gonna have a flat tire, bud. Okay, 1-star review. Avoid all costs if you don't want to spend half your shift waiting to fuel. We'll park on Fuel Island for an hour, then complain that there's no money in trucking. Go figure. All right. And another thing about this truck stop is that if you did, there was a review on here somewhere, I forgot. But if you are at the, say you're a semi truck, if you're a car, it's fine. Don't worry. Well, even if you're a car, you have to go, instead of going out the front of the fuel pumps, you have to go right. Instead, go to the back of the truck stop and exit the back rear entrance, and go up that side road, which opens up. Otherwise, you're just going to have to do a U-turn when you came out. I think that's what I did, if I remember right. I pulled straight out and realized there's a barrier right in the middle. So luckily, it was early enough. There was no traffic, so I was able to pull out, do a quick U-turn, and go about my business. So let's get to the murder crime. Actually, both. And like I said, I did this on a short video on YouTube that I did that, and also my TikTok video. I did a few videos of this town. Go check them out. So, what are we talking about today? Now we're gonna go back in time. It's a bank robbery. We will be talking about the Fleagle Gang. Now it's spelled Fleagle, but I found out that from a relative. I watched a video on YouTube about this case, and one of the relatives said it's Fleagle. It's pronounced like that. And I probably mispronounced it on the video that I did, my little short video. But yeah, the Fleagle Gang was a group early 20th century American bank robbers and murderers. They were found and executed or killed after robbing the First National Bank in Lamar, Colorado. Their cases were the first in which the Federal Bureau Investigation used a single fingerprint as part of the evidence, leading to a conviction. They were also suspected of having committed a series of previous bank robberies over the past 10-year period. So, on May 23rd, 1928, Ralph Fleagle, his brother Jake Fleagle, and George A. Amshire, aka Bill Messick, and Howard Heavy Ronston came into Lamar, Colorado. They planned to rob the National Bank. They met at a ranch near, and I know I'm going to mispronounce his name, Marienthal, Kansas, shortly before it's spelled Marienthal, Marienthal, Kansas, shortly before the robbery. But Jake Fleagle had planned on robbing the Lamar Bank for some time. Like many professional robbers of the time, the Fleagles, together with Hampshire, had carefully scouted the bank on several occasions before they decided to commit the crime. The gang had maps of the roads of Prowers County, Colorado, and the brothers had been inside the bank building and knew its layout. Edshire said they had weighed the possibilities and decided it was a job that for more they needed four people, so that's when they recruited Heavy Royston. When they left Kansas on May 23rd, about 3 a.m., the men had license plates from Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, and California to throw off any witnesses of their track. Each man was heavily armed. The drive took about 6 hours, but the plan required them to wait until the afternoon to commit the robbery. At about 1 p.m., they went into action. So E.A. Lundgren, a one-armed teller of the bank, was waiting. A World War One vet, by the way, was waiting on a customer when he saw the men come in the bank and heard one shout, "You sons of bitches, get on the ground!" I have to do it that voice. And another yelled, "Hands up!" In the noise and confusion of the moment, bank president A.N. Parrish ducked into his office and pulled out a Colt 45 he called Old Betsy and fired at the closest bank robber from the door to his office, hitting Royston in the jaw, and then, by all accounts, all hell broke loose after that. The bank teller, William Garrett, and Miss Vivian Potter, another bank employee, said two of the gunmen struggled with customers, and most of the gang members were shouting to their victims to either lie down or put their hands up. Abshire, who later confessed to his role in the robbery and his aftermath, recalled, he said, and I'm going to do my accent. I grabbed hold of the man standing alongside me, shoved him to the floor, told him to get down. I wanted them out of the way of the bullets. Okay. During the struggle, Parrish, the bank president who had shot Ronstein in the face, was shot and killed. Jado Parrish, the son of the president and bank employee, was also killed in the barrage of bullets flying everywhere. The bandits loaded the bounty, $10,664 in cash, 12,400 in Liberty bonds, and almost 200,000 in commercial paper, which I'm not for sure. Let's see what commercial paper is. I'm not really for sure. Commercial paper is a global financial market and unsecured note. So I don't know. Maybe they just thought I would just took the money myself. I don't know. All that seems like it'd be trackable. Don't you think so? Yeah, they put all that in the pillowcases to grab two hostages. The original plan had called for the gang to take Jabo Parrish as hostage because they felt that his father would not pursue them and risk his son's life. But when Jabo was killed, well, they had to get another hostage. So the gang, along with hostage Eskel, Eskel, Eskela Lundgren, and teller named Everett Kissinger, headed out to the car by a back door and drove out of town. After fending off the sheriff in a car chase that ended at a crossing of Sand Creek northeast of Lamar, the robbers used rifles to disable the sheriff's car. The gang got away. Ralph Fleagle was driving a 1927 blue Buick Master 6 getaway car. During a car chase, the gang released the one-armed teller Lundgren, which was, in some cases I heard, was actually standing on the running rail. Because a lot of them old cars had that big rail that you could sit to protect them from it. But according to what I'm reading right now, it doesn't say anything about that. But a few places I read said that's where he stood at. Kissinger pleaded to his Kissinger pleaded that he had a wife and new baby and asked to be let go, but the bandits refused, forcing Kissinger to ride on the floor of the back seat of the car while Rostam in the front seat used a pillowcase to catch the blood from the wound of his face. The gang arrived back in Kansas by nightfall. Roystein, who had been shot by the bank president, needed medical attention, so the gang tricked a local doctor into coming out from his Dayton, Kansas home at night by telling him that a young boy's foot had got caught up in a tractor and needed assistance right away. Of course, it was a different time back then. You just go knocking at the doctors. Right now, you'd have to go to the emergency room. Back then, I guess there was no hospitals around the area. You had to go to the doctor's house. But yeah, when Dr. W. Weininger, or Weininger arrived, Weining, arrived at the ranch, he discovered the house, he discovered the ruse, but treated Rodston's wounds. After he finished, the gang bound him up and blindfolded him, took him out of the ranch, shot him in the back of the head with a shotgun, and rolled his body and the Buick into a ravine north of Scott City, Kansas. The car and doctor's body were spotted from the air by Colorado National Guard airplane that had been brought from Denver to aid the search. Dozens of citizens poses, posses crisscrossed the counties along with the Colorado border to search for the getaway car. The Fleagle brothers took Kinzinger to a shack near Liberal, Kansas, and shot him. The body was discovered about 3 weeks after the bank robbery. So, the gang divided loot and separated, with Abshire driving Roystein to Minneapolis, Minnesota, to be seen by a dental surgeon. After reaching Minneapolis, I can never say that, each man went to a different area of the country, with Abshire going to Grand Junction, Colorado, Roystein to San Andreas, California, and Ralph to San Francisco, California. It took police about 13 months to track down the owner of the single fingerprint left on the window of the doctor's car, which the way that he got it was he was having trouble raising it down, lowering the window down, and the doctor said you had to pull the window towards him to open it up, and that's where the fingerprint came from. We had Jake Fleagle was arrested by Detective Paul Quayle after Quayle found a cache of weapons in a house he had rented him in Stockton, California. In March 1929, his fingerprints were sent to the FBI in Washington, D.C., where they were identified as Jake Fleagle's and connected to the Lamar bank robbery. The Stockton police had released Jake after fingerprinting. Ralph Fleagle was arrested first in Kankakee, Illinois, which I lived right by there growing up. And after flying back to Kansas and being booked in Lamar, he was taken to Colorado Springs, where he eventually confessed. Ralph agreed to provide authorities with information about the rest of the gang in exchange for the release of his two brothers, Fred and Walt Fleagle. A nationwide manhunt for Jake resulted in his death in a shootout on a train in Branson, Missouri, which I don't live too far from. I work right there in Springfield, Missouri, which is right. Well, I'm a truck driver. I'm all over the United States, but my main terminal is right north of Branson. If you in Springfield, Missouri, little useless facts there of the story. But yeah, in October 1930, after his brother had been hung in Colorado, Royston was captured at his home in San Andreas, California, and Abshire was arrested in Grand Junction, Colorado. So, the three were tried first in Lamar County in Colorado, and in a series of trials, and since in Wikipedia it says a sensational series of trials. In October and November 1929, they were all sentenced to hang. Their appeals to Colorado Supreme Court did not succeed, and the men were executed over a 2-week period in mid-July 1930. This was the very first time the FBI used a single fingerprint to convict somebody of the crime, and was a major success for the FBI. So, and they have fucked that up so much since then. But yeah, and that if you're ever in this area, maybe you might go treasure hunting, because even today treasure hunters scour the West looking for caches of money supposedly buried by the Ralph Fleagle gang, Ralph Fleagle. Credible rumors, but little proof about uncovered loot buried in California, Kansas, possible Missouri. There's evidence that Ralph invested much of his money in possible own an apartment building in San Francisco when he had been living before being arrested in Kankakee, Illinois. Ralph's wife Margaret was sent away by the Fleagle family shortly after Ralph was hanged in Colorado, but there is no evidence where she went. They sent her away. Be gone with you, woman. So there you go. There is the case of the Fleagle gang and the bank robbery in Lamar, Colorado, and the Love's truck stop that I stopped at. And like I said, I did a little short video. You can find it on YouTube. You can see the bank where they remodeled it and everything. And on my TikTok channel, I walked through the town, found some interesting things, sceneries and cemeteries. So if you like me to tell another story, it's an older one, go rate and review wherever you're listening to it. Check out my YouTube channel, Truck Stop Murder and True Crime. Also, I have a second podcast called Missing Miles, where I talk about missing people, unsolved cases, unsolved murders, and whatnot. And that email is missingmiles@gmail.com, or you can email this podcast, truckstopmurder@gmail.com. And as always, I'm going to tell you about the True Crime and Paranormal Podcast Festival in Denver, Colorado. There you go. In Colorado. We're staying in Colorado. It's on July 12th to the 14th. Go to True Crime and Paranormal. I'll put the link in the description. Go check it out. There's going to be tons of people there. I just saw that Canadian True Crime is going to be there. If you like Canada, you like true crime, and somebody's in a pleasant way talking about murder, check your podcast out. All right then. Well, without further ado, I got to get back to work. And as I always say, you can't fix stupid, but you can sure numb it with a 2x4. I'm out of here.